Come out and play.
Welcome. Yes, you're in the new Providence. When niggas get to snapping like they got no common sense. When we approach with confidence, we vote with confidence. Cause optics is enough to throw the hardest to the fence.
And yeah, bitch, I'm on top of my game. So we can take my picture, put it in a superstar frame.
Now I get steady looks, cause I got heavy push. A playmaker with the rock, no Reggie Bush. Yeah, the Betty look kinda like a heavy book. They ready shook cause they already heard the hook.
Here
Yeah.
come out and play.
Ha
Alright, man, we in here, y'all. Let's get this one going. What's going on, world? It's your boy Vio the Face. Beer Bros, we back in it again, and cheers to the win. Hold on, let me throw in a little retro, a little Radio Shack, man. That's where we obviously getting our computer connection from, man. But shout out to everybody that came in. We're going to give you a chance to win, and cheers to the win. Let's get this one popping. I got my boy Jay Reezy Rose here.
Beer Bros back in the building.
Back in the billing, man, like accounts receivable. We back in the billings. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this one going. And over here managing our accounts, man. Silly, you got all them books on your shelf over there, man. That's some big ass binders. You got government secrets back there, or just all the fantasy knowledge in the world?
That's just all fantasy knowledge along with a lot of coding books.
All right, well, we got Cody and Silly C in this bitch. What's up, Silly C?
Hey, what up? It's your boy. Yeah, ready to get it started. Yeah.
Hey man, I'm gonna need more of that Silly C voice. All right, if we gonna do the Silly C voice, you gonna do the Silly C voice. All right, man, let's get this one popping. All right, so we just did the running backs and the wide receiver. You can find those on our channel now. We're gonna dive into the quarterbacks and tight ends. Jay Reeves, go ahead and let's just talk about this position in general while I pull up my list.
Yeah, man, she don't want no puppy. She want a big dog. These are your onesie positions, man. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is the position that you got to get right. Quarterback, I really like this year, especially in certain leagues that you got to know your league settings. You want to go with a quarterback early. Man, when these runs start, they start flying. As far as tight end goes, man, I'm telling you, if you don't have a solid tight end, you will be a loose booty out here on these fantasy streets. So, man, like,
if you draft one at the wrong time, overdraft them, take Kelsey in the second round like I did in 2 leagues last year. Just stub your toe on a Lego. Silly C, you know how important these numbers, this draft position, and I think one of the most important stats or numbers we could draw from is value from your position. How do you maximize getting value from the tight end or quarterback position when there's normally a couple that are up top and then everybody else is kind of just week to week starters? How do you balance that and try to find the best option for your position throughout the season?
So I hate to say it, but a lot of people may not be too happy about what I say, but you have to at some point jump for the one or two high position players. Like you got to go and get you a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, or you got to jump to get you a Kelsey or who's that other tight end? That
Brock
blew up
Bowers,
last year.
Trey McBride.
Yeah, one of those you got to jump. But let it be known that even when jumping that position, there's only like 1 to 2 that just take off, and then the other ones just are left behind. So hopefully you can get higher ends in both positions, and that would be the best way to kind of look at it.
All right, well, Mac Daddy will make you jump, but tight ends won't make you jump. Let's start with this tight end list, man. We'll do the top 10, and then you guys will kind of give me your guys' reaction and who you think is overrated, underrated, rated just right, or just a player you want to highlight out of these. We will go from 10 to 1. At 10, we got Green Bay's tight end Tucker Kraft. 9, Mark Andrews. 8, Evan Ingram. 7, Njoku. 6, Taylor Swift's boyfriend. 5, TJ Hawkinson. 4, Sam Laporta. 3, George Kittle. 2, Trey McBride. And Brock Bowers. All right, those are your top 10 tight ends. Jay Reeves, go ahead and break it down. Where do you go? Where do you fall? And what are your thoughts on any of those positions?
Man, I want to just, I don't know, start with number 10, the boy Tucker Kraft, man. He's in a real ambiguous wide receiver room. I know he is a tight end, but he has big playability and he can play like a wide receiver coming out of the slot. A lot of teams are doing that lately with their tight ends, man. But the fact that you got Jaden Reed around, Savion Williams, Christian Watson on the bench, Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks, it's a lot going on out here. If they could just concentrate and focus on the tight end in Green Bay alongside Josh Jacobs, Tucker Kraft could have a huge year this year.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those ones, you know what I'm saying? Like Tucker Kraft, Love is going to have to find security in somebody. Love has the most wide receiver number 2s I've ever seen on one team. So I wonder if he has a tight end 1 out of there. I don't know how Kraft is going to produce this year, but let's take ourselves from the bottom of that top 10 and silly see where you want to go on this list.
I hate to say it, but I gotta go Brock Bowers. I mean, really, with
And
the
the 1.
numbers with the numbers he put up last season was just amazing. Where he caught 112 passes on 153 targets for 11, almost 1,200 yards. He led the tight ends. He was the highest targets, receptions, and yardage among tight ends, and he's got very reliable, consistent hands and all around very good production for the Raiders offense, even with inconsistencies with Minshew, Ritter, and O'Connell. So I think right now he's projected to improve even better with Geno Smith. So I really like to see what he's got going this year and kind of think that he's going to break out.
Yeah, I mean, when you draft these tight ends, you're not going to hear a lot of humming and hawing from the room. Like, it's not going to get the best draft room reaction, you know. It's just a player that is very important to a championship team. I think everybody that excelled last year either lucked out with a Brock Bowers or Trey McBride or even picked up on Laporta. Some people put their eggs in the basket with Hawkinson, who was scheduled to mix the first 4 or 6 weeks, and it ended up dragging out to like 7 or 8. I'd say don't wait around this year. Look for production because production's going to be coming from all types of different places. I think yesterday, Seattle released Noah Fant, and he was picked up by the Cincinnati Bengals. So you got a new face and a new place. Could Noah Fant be the Mike Gesicki from last year in Joe Burrow's offense? I do think he can be something like that, even with the late addition. You also see people like Darren Waller, who is popped back up in the NFL, and he is now with the Miami Dolphins. Their head coach said that he's in good shape. We know he still can't rap a lick because we've heard that from his songs. But he said he's in good shape, just not football shape. One person that really is just disheartening to see this low on this list of this slim talent pool is Kyle Pitts at number 18. Kyle Pitts at number 18. Jay Reeves, you have messed with him damn near every year he's been in the league. How do you feel about the rise and fall of Kyle Pitts?
Man, it's funny that you bring him up, man, because I wanted to let go of the rope on Kyle Pitts, but I'm back in. I can't quit it. I can't quit it, man. It's just like beating a dead horse. Man, he has had awesome production throughout training camp. Now he's under the reins of Michael Pittman. Not Michael Pittman, Michael Penix. Big Penix energy, man. And the thing about Michael Penix is he was really great at Washington. He had a lot of production with Drake London coming down the stretch last year. I think Michael Penix can get Kyle Pitts back on the right track. But let me rubber band that back to you, VO. What you think about Kyle Pitts this year?
I don't. and I refuse to respond to him. He has shit the bed every time I've given him an opportunity to. So I'm not gonna waste any more time. When I'm hosting this show, see, I get to fuck with y'all. I get to do what I kind of want to do. I could have given you something else, but I wanted you to just sit in that suck that is Kyle Pitts. And I could have
I
gave you this
got
one. Hey, Silly C, what do you think about the Chicago rookie Colston Loveland? And how do you think he'll be in that new Bears offense with their new coach and their quarterback looking to make a sophomore leap? Colston Loveland.
Oh, I don't know. Right now, his strength is really his athleticism and size. He's 6'6".
Mhm.
He's an elite route runner. He has seamless separation abilities. So with that, he also has got the target share and dominance. He handled 37% of Michigan's targets, 40% of their air yards in his final year, and pretty much he's a offensive fit for Ben Johnson's system, and he's built for 12 personnel along with Kemet. What's his name? Kemet, whatever his name is.
Cole Kmet.
Cole Komet, there we go. The one thing that's kind of bad is he's limited in his blocking abilities. So with that being said, I would kind of, caution that. But I think he has a little bit of upsides. It just we'll have to see.
And Jay Reeves, just to clarify, how many points do you get for a good block from a tight end in a fantasy league?
0.
Okay, all right. So it doesn't matter if he
How
could
many
block or not.
quarterbacks
He's
which
gonna be
tight end could block on the blind side when they're
Julius
rolling that
Thomas,
way?
14 touchdowns. I bring you to the season of 2013. It's in the shadow of the Rocky Mountains. Julius Thompson, 14 touchdowns,
There's
Super
only
Bowl
one
appearance,
Peyton
and then
Manning.
yeah, I mean, hey
Come
man.
on now.
Hey, Caleb has been quoted as being the best prospect since Andrew Luck, who was the best prospect since Peyton Manning. So
But he
you know,
has
what I
no
mean,
line.
maybe I don't know. I'm reaching for these, but hopefully we kind of clarify y'all situation so you don't find yourself reaching for a tight end this season, man. Let's get into these quarterbacks, man. Let's talk about the people distributing the rock. Um, you guys want top 10 or top 15?
Let's go 15.
All right, then I'm gonna just go from 15 to 1, and then we'll run through the list. You guys could pick a player or two to dive in on. 15 is Drake May. And I think I should say that 16 and 17 is Goff and Love. So they got high hopes for Drake May this year. 15 is Drake May. 14 is Dak Prescott. 13, Justin Fields. 12, Caleb Williams. 11, Herbert. 10, Purdy. 9, Murray, Kyler Murray. 8, Denver's own Bo Nix. 7, Baker Mayfield. 6, Patty Mahomes. 5, Joe Burrow. 4, Jalen Hurts. 3, Jaden Daniels. 2, Josh Allen. And 1, Lamar Jackson. Silly C, uh, let's talk about these quarterbacks. Choose one and fill me in on them. Give me information because I have no information.
So I'm gonna have to start with Bo Nix. I mean,
Okay.
I'm a
Homer.
Denver fan and all that. He started all 17 games, and that's one thing we have missed for a while with quarterbacks, where he threw for 37, 75, and 29 touchdowns with 12 interceptions with a 63 or 66.3 completion rate, a 93.3 passer rating, and he also added 432 rushes on that and 4 touchdowns. So with his elite athleticism and consistency, he has high pass attempts. He had 567. That's ranked among the top 3 in rookies attempts and productivity for 2024. So right now, I think he has a few concerns where he has low yards per attempt, 6.7 yards per attempt, being 29th in the NFL, despite many short throws and he has a reduced ceiling. So he's not kind of air it out as much as we would like, but maybe that changes as he progresses. And then he did have a late season injury. So as long as he comes out of that and he's healed and ready to go, I think his sky's the limit for Bo Nix.
Yeah, man. It's definitely another one of those second-year players looking to take a jump, and he is accompanied by two other sophomores in this group with Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. But I'm interested to see where Jay Reese is going to go with the person he wants to talk about.
Man, I want to spin the block on the boy, Justin Fields. Now, the last time Justin Fields played a full season, it was with my beloved Chicago Bears. He had about, I want to say, 2,500 passing yards, real lackluster. Touchdown to interceptions. Cody, can you go ahead and look up those numbers when he played for the Chicago Bears, if you can pull it up? But that same year, he ran for over 1,000 yards and produced a lot of touchdowns on the ground. That year with the Chicago Bears, he ended up as the quarterback 6. Now, we go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he started the first 6 games before getting the carpet yanked from right up under his feet for Russell Wilson. In those first 6 games, he was on pace to finish the year as, you guessed it, the quarterback 6. Now he's in the system with the New York Jets. He's got his college running mate, Garrett Wilson, who's going to be throwing the ball to, Breece Hall in the backfield. I think Justin Fields, he may not have a whole bunch of pass production, but he's going to get you a lot of yards on the ground with his legs, man. And if he runs from anywhere between 800 to 1,000 yards again, he will finish as the quarterback 6 once again. I really like Justin Fields this year. He's on my radar.
Yeah, but also with this type of pace, even if you're not in a quarterback like a 2-quarterback league, you can find these type of players going off the board early and often. Once that run of quarterbacks take off, yeah, you'll see the Mahomes, the Allens, the Jacksons. You'll see all these people start popping off the board. But then people, once their board starts filling up a little bit, they're like, oh, I'm going to draft a second quarterback. So if you're one of those people that are waiting in the thing to get you like a Justin Fields or Caleb Williams or just anybody else that's ever played for the Bears, if you're in that market, you know what I'm saying, then make sure you get them, because somebody will take a second quarterback before your dumbass takes the first one. You find yourself sitting there looking around like Will Smith at the last show when that living room was empty. You know what I'm saying? What do you guys think about Jaden Daniels, his athletic ability, and what he'll bring to the quarterback game this year?
Oh, I think his athletic ability is amazing. What I do get scared of is injuries with running as much as he does, but he's also a really good passer. So I think if he can, like, his completion percentage was 69% last season. He had 331 attempts, or 331 completions out of 480 attempts, 25 touchdowns, 3,568 passing yards. Really, I think he was a beast. He had a 100.1 passer rating, and notably, he was the offensive rookie of the year. And again, that 69% passer completion percentage is just really crazy when you think about that as a rookie.
Yeah, getting close to 70% in general is nuts. But now he's dealing with the addition of Deebo Samuels, who I always like, but he's doesn't have his number one option, Terry McLaurin, at his disposal currently as we're recording. He has not been paid. That might have an effect on his game being like top 5, because it might take a while for McLaurin to get up to speed. When he was with LSU, he had dangerous passers down the field. Malik Neighbors. He had other people at LSU. Obviously, they're a receiver factory. So everybody he threw to down the field, they had that chemistry with. And I believe he could build that with Deebo and Terry McLaurin, but they got to get into camp. One quarterback that doesn't have to worry about paying for a meal or a tab or anything this offseason is the quarterback of T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. What do you think from old Joey B, Jay Reese?
Joe Burrow, just like every other quarterback in this league, he just has to stay healthy, because Joe Burrow has a couple incomplete seasons. But when that man is on the field, with that lackluster defense and those two superstar receivers. Because, yes, everybody knows Jamar Chase. He is that dude. He is the number one receiver sitting right next to Justin Jefferson. But T. Higgins is also a number one himself. That's why he's also being drafted so high. He's not drafted like a wide receiver, too. As long as Joe Burrow can stay on the field, man, I'm telling you, easy 4,500 yards, 40 touchdowns, and having an amazing season could possibly end up QB1 because he's getting drafted in the top 5 at the quarterback position. He's in that range, man. So Joe Burrow, he's a superstar. Just got to stay on the field, just like everybody else.
Yeah,
I have to agree.
Just a nose hair under 5,000. What he went for last year, went for 49, 18, and 43 touchdowns. Silly C, what do you agree the most about his receivers being paid and that improving his production?
I think that will improve his production, but I don't even know what to say when it comes to. We were talking about Daniels at 69% completion percentage. Joe Burrow, Joey B, is at 70.6%, which that's out of control. And he's thrown the ball over 652 times compared to that 557, I think we said, for Daniels. So he's a very good quarterback, very accurate, but the ones he misses are the big ones because he did have 9 turnovers where Daniels didn't have near that many. So those 9 interceptions is kind of what's hurting him. But I think really he is quite the player, and I would always count on Joey B to be a top 5. As long as he's healthy.
I just want to elaborate a little bit. My bad, Vio, because I kind of want to ask you a question. So with Jayden Daniels, that slight frame, 6'4", a little under 210 pounds. The boy is real skinny, and he could get cracked up and be injured at any moment. But what are his chances at finishing at QB1? Would you, VO to face, draft him over Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson overall?
I do have a problem with smaller frame players. Like that's why I never really bought into like Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that kind of another athlete like Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? They kind of scare me to death because they're just and Chet. You know, like they're just like skinny athletes, and that's something that's very similar to Jayden Daniels' build. The thing that makes me really nervous is I don't know if they still play at FedEx Field. I don't know if it's still the same field or not. I think it is, but that's where RG3 tore up his leg at. That's where Alex Smith had that horrific injury. That field and that home turf in Washington has been notorious for just blowing out MCLs, ACLs. I'm more concerned with the type of field he has to play on 9 times last year in the regular season than I am concerned with his build. I think he's able, just through being kind of agile, being a little bit slimmer. I don't know if this makes a ton of sense, but it actually makes it a little more difficult to lay like a hit on you. Sometimes when you're big, you know, you can get them, but sometimes them slim dudes, they just turn to the side, you know what I'm saying, and disappear. And I think that might actually help him a lot in some of those instances. Is that a good enough deflection for you, or you think that explains like why he might be able to succeed even with his body type issues?
Would you draft him over Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen?
No, Lamar Jackson, he's been healthy. He's played like every game. Josh Allen's been healthy. Not only are they both runners, but they both excel on getting down and getting out the way. I don't think Jayden Daniels is the best quarterback in the DMV area. I think that's Lamar Jackson. So I don't think he'll finish ahead of him.
Okay.
Odie, the MVP normally comes from this quarterback position. Who you think will get the MVP this year? I don't have any of the odds in front of me or anything, but who you think will get the MVP this year in the NFL?
Ooh, that's hard to say. Honestly, I think if Joey B can have that type of production that he did last season, 45 and like just around like 45 yards, he had what, 43 touchdowns? If he has that type of production and they get far, I really feel like they say it doesn't have anything to do with the playoffs, but I feel like it does. If they get far in the playoffs, I feel like he could definitely, be MVP. And I think he has a really good chance. I pick Joey B would be my pick right
Joey
now.
B. Jay Reeves, you got any votes for the MVP?
Yeah, Jaden Daniels. I ain't scared. I ain't scared. Over 4,000 yards, 1,000 yards rushing, a whole boatload of touchdown. Jaden Daniels is a boat, and I'm here to tell you right now, I am drafting him over Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen because it's Jaden Daniels' time now. I don't give a damn about Terry McLaurin. Let me put two names on your brain: Jalen Lane and Ja'Cory Brooks. They up and coming wide receivers in Washington. That fool Jaden Daniels, he don't need Terry McLaurin either. I don't care what the hell y'all say. Debo still got a little bit left in the tank. Jaden Daniels, #1 overall. Put the stamp on it.
We might have to use that for a playback just in case there's a big hit this season, but I really hope not.
Or if he wins the MVP. Play that back when he win the MVP.
When he win the MVP, then we'll play it back too.
Then.
Yeah, I mean the odds for him to win it, he's at fifth best odds. He's at plus 750. They got Lamar Jackson plus 550, Josh Allen plus 550, Burrow plus 650, Mahomes, who's always in the conversation, plus 700, and Jaden bringing up number 5 with plus 750. The next closest to those 5 is Jalen Hurts at plus 1700. So they looking like they're gonna keep it in that area where y'all are talking about. Jay Reeves, if you so confident, just put a little money where your mouth is, and then don't come back to us with the receipt. Come back with the receipt that you bought something.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a piece on it. And also, man, let's just touch on Jalen Hurts a little bit. Let's touch on him with the tush push. That is borderline disrespectful. Plus 1,700 for the Super Bowl MVP. Come on, man. What are we doing? Have you guys seen the exchange that Gilly and Cam Newton had over the
Yes, I did, and I understand why Gilly did it. I understand why Cam clapped back too. And I don't think Cam. I think they both have points. I do think. I don't think he's just like just a fucking like an offensive like stooge, like as far as Jalen Hurts goes, like I know he's not a system quarterback, is what I'm trying to say, a game manager. That's very assaulting. Like I do think he could go out and win it. He went out there and won that Super Bowl in the first half before Kendrick even called Drake a pedophile. He went out there and won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So I think Jalen Hurts can do the damage, but I feel like he just does what's asked of him. But when you do look at the numbers, his numbers were worse than Rodgers last year, who had a poor year. His numbers, he had less touchdowns than Bo Nix. Like, honestly, like he performed by the numbers in the middle of the pack with the most stacked offensive team maybe in recent history, So, I mean, Cam has a point, but also Gilly has a point because sometimes, your job isn't just to do all that when you got Saquon behind you and figuratively and literally on the tush push. So I don't think he's being disrespected, and I think they both made points on their argument. Silly C, do you think Jalen Hurts is just a game manager?
No, that was let's go back to Elway. Like Elway was a phenomenal passer, one of the top passers in the league, but then really never won until he got the elite running back in Terrell Davis. So I mean, it took him to get an elite person like that to take some of the pressure off of him throwing the ball. And that's the same thing that Hurts is getting with Saquon Barkley, because before they had Barkley, they still were getting a lot of running and the tush push and stuff, but his passing was a lot more up. Now they're able to control that and reduce the turnovers. So I have to say, honestly, that's a good move, especially when you have somebody that takes some of the punishment that Hurts does with the tush push and with some of his running. So I think it only makes sense to take him out of harm's way a lot, as much as possible.
It just sounds really flagrant when we're talking about a man taking a punishment from a tush push. And we'll end today's video on that. Remember, we just going in, man, but when you with the Beer Bros, cheers to a win. Cheers, y'all.
Pause.
Cheers. Bam.